Welcome to S Class, the highest tier in podcasting. With me is the soon-to-be Holy Father. It's Papa Rob.
Actually, Justin, at this point, I probably am a father of whenever this anime of the year is airing. So call me
Yeah,
Daddy.
Daddy Rob.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I am your host, the cursed child of S Class, Justin. And Robert,
Yeah,
why am I cursed?
because for the second straight year, as we are recording this, you are COVID positive.
Yes, quarantining once again. I don't even know how. We didn't plan this to get COVID every year. Hopefully not a third year next year, but here we are. But even a virus that has stopped the world cannot stop us from our anime and manga of the year 2022.
We are 70 series deep. Well, 66, but that doesn't sound as sexy as 70.
66 series deep. You guys know how this works. Similar to our Game of the Year, which came out 2 weeks ago, we will be going through each of these series and cutting them one by one until there is only one left. Rob and I have different tastes in anime and manga. There's going to be some compromising, some deals going on. So we'll see what happens until we get our final one, which is going to be the strongest under the
Yatsuba.
heavens.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it's going to be Yatsuba, just like last year.
Yatsuba is not on the list, but it could have made a comeback.
Number one.
Yatsuba.
Well, remember, these aren't series that aired or released for the first time this year. This is just something that Justin and I have either read or watched for the first time in 2022, right?
Right. Yeah. And this also takes into consideration that there are some ongoing series, like, for example, One Piece. We read 30 to 40 chapters, and we're just taking those chapters into consideration for their ranking in this year as well.
Right, right.
All right, Rob, shall we dive into the list?
All right. I mean, this is a long list, so should we speed run it?
All right. I'll start off. Number 186, 20th Century Boys and 21st Century Boys, A Man and His Cat, Akane Banashi, Aliens Area, Baki, Blank Canvas, Blue Box, Blue Lock, Bocchi the Rock, Castle in the Sky, Catch These Hands, Cells at Work, Chainsaw Man, Crazy Food Truck, Death Parade, Devil is a Part-Timer 2, Didn't I Say to Make My Abilities Average in the Next Life, Do It Yourself, Donald Duck Visits Japan, Dragon Ball Super Superhero, Fruits Basket Another, Ginka and Luna, Haikyuu Seasons 2 through 4, Hajime no Ippo, I Think Our Son is Gay, I Don't Know How to Give Birth, I'll Give It My All Tomorrow, Isekai Oujisan, Kaiju number 8, Konjiki No Gash Bell 2, Konjiki No Gash Double F. And Rob, why don't you take it from there?
Love After World Domination, Magus of the Library, Mori-chan and Ken-chan, My Divorced Crybaby Neighbor, My Dress-Up Darling, My Hero Academia, My Senpai is Annoying, One Piece, One Punch Man, Penguin in House, Pokemon, Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution, Radiant, Ranking of Kings, Real, Ryakuma's Theme Park Adventure, Rooster Fighter, Ruri Dragon, Sakamoto Days, Seizan and Comic Girl, Shoha Shoten, Shokugeki no Soma Seasons 4 and 5, Shumatsu no Valkyrie, Spy Family, Star Wars Lost Stars, Summertime Rendering, The Whole of Humanity Has Gone Yuri Except for Me, Tokyo Demon Bride Story, Urusei Yatsura, Uzaki-chan Wants to Hang Out, Vinland Saga, Whisper of the Heart, Your Boy Kong Ming, Yokohama Kaidashi Kiku, and Zombie 100 Bucket List of the Dead.
That is a lot harder than it looks to read all of those.
That was rough.
Rob, I usually give you the honorary first cut, but I have something that I need to get off here, unless you have something you need to get off.
No. I actually feel like this was a year where I read and watched only at least decent things. So I don't have like a clear-cut first dump off. So you start us off.
Okay, so my number one is winner of our longest title award. Didn't I say to make my abilities average in the next life, everyday misadventures? That will be our number 66. It is an unfunny, uninteresting yonkoma, which is like a 4-cell comic that's a spin-off series of a series that is for garbage humans that like shitty isekai.
All right. Nice and simple.
That's all I have to say.
So the fun thing with this list is that even if something wasn't objectively unenjoyable, but it was like so terrible that I loved it. You know, it's so bad it's good. Does that go now, or does that go somewhere in the middle?
No, I think it just depends on our preferences. For me, something that does nothing to me is way worse than something that I hate.
Okay, in that case,
But this is your criteria.
In
again.
that case, I feel pretty comfortable getting rid of One Piece now. I
Whoa.
did not enjoy a single second of
Oh
One
my
Piece this
god.
year. I thought it was so boring, so dragged out, so convoluted, so lazy. The art was atrocious and just cramped and scribble scrabble. It was like Hunter x Hunter. I just nothing about One Piece was pleasurable this year.
I'm not I'm not trying to argue with you. It seems a little bit early to be getting rid of One Piece. Um the only consolation for One Piece, because I don't disagree with you, is that I thought that Gear 5 was fun even if it was so stupid.
I would have liked Gear 5 if they just kept it the fruit that it was. It didn't need to be some sort of god fruit.
Totally
It
agree
could have
with you. I'm not in
it could have
disagreement
just
there.
been like the next stage of Rubber is that it becomes cartoony, but they had to make it like this ridiculous, stupid chosen one thing, and that just ruined One Piece for me this year.
I think there's a couple that can go before One Piece, but I
If
do agree with you. It can go in the next 3 to 5.
if you have a couple you want to knock out right now, be my guest. But for me, One Piece was the least enjoyable thing of my year.
Wow. I mean, look, I'll throw these names out here and you sort of see how you're feeling. Fruits Basket Another, which we picked up during our manga haul, it was just like a nothing sequel to a manga that I really love, and it was kind of insulting to me how they ran with that. And Radiant, the French manga, the manfra,
Oh,
which
you
ruined,
hated that one.
which was just a complete waste of my time, just generic shonen magic garbage. So those two are next on my list, and then I would be curious how you feel about Ruri Dragon.
Uh I don't know. I think it's too soon to say anything on Ruri Dragon. I want to talk about it at some point, and at some point soon, but not yet.
Okay, so you think Ruri Dragon is better than One Piece?
I enjoyed the overall experience of Ruri Dragon more than One Piece this year. All six
Okay,
chapters of it, and everything that came along with it.
then I will get rid of Radiant, and then Radiant at 65, Fruits Basket and Under at 64, and then I'll give you the cut there.
Okay, actually, before One Piece, I forgot I watched the awful Pokemon Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution. That's definitely going before One Piece. That was a horrifyingly, atrociously ugly thing that I
I'm going to
had
give
to
that
look
64,
at.
and I'm going to give Fruits Basket another 63.
I accept
Unless,
that.
okay. And then One Piece at 62.
Wow, it doesn't even crack the top 60.
Did you have a methodology going into this? Like, do you have some ideas of what you're looking for? I'm just
No,
curious.
I don't. I reviewed our list. However, I'm kind of going at it, all at once right now. And
Okay.
it was just whatever speaks to me.
Okay, so I had some sort of tiering method because it was just too much to consume all at once. So I just had to knock out those ones that I thought were objectively bad, and then everything after this is like there's some merit somewhere in there for me.
Yeah. All right. So who's up? I just got rid of Pokemon.
I got rid of 3, you got rid of 2, so I guess you're up. You're gonna be odds, I'll be evens.
All right. I'm gonna go to one of our manga hall
Can I
manga as
guess?
well. Yeah, you can guess.
Is it the Penguin House?
Oh, Penguin and House. It was so boring. It was such a bland, boring slice of life. You need. There wasn't enough slice of actual life. There was just too much. It was too little of a slice.
I can't even imagine how you make slice of life to not slice of life.
It was literally just a penguin cleaning a house.
That poor goddamn
It
penguin.
was. It was way too boring. And I consider Polar Bear Cafe to be one of the greatest series of all time. So do with that information what you will.
This is actually getting hard already for
That's what
me
I'm saying.
because there's a bunch of stuff that was solid. I think I'll go with Shumatsu no Valkyrie. This is the one with the gods versus the heroes of history, and it lost a lot of its appeal last year. I think it ranked in like the top 25, maybe top 30, and then this year it was just like they weren't able to innovate on a lot of the characters. I will say the most interesting happening right now is that Nikola Tesla is in a electric mech suit fighting Satan.
Wow, and it barely, and it can't even get into the top 60.
Conceptually it's like really funny and interesting, but then in terms of actual execution of the action, it's not fun to read. Like I'm speed reading it, but just there's this one panel where Nikola Tesla's in like this Gundam creating electricity with his hands that says Nikola Tesla. That panel in itself gets it to number 60.
That's what pushes it up. I'm gonna go with. Hmm. There's a few that I'm like juggling right now. I think I'm gonna go with My Senpai is Annoying, which is a really popular crummy rom com. It's like each chapter I think is only a couple of pages, but It is one of the slowest moving romance plots of all time. And these are like people in working age. They're in their like late 20s, early 30s. So for it
Right.
to be moving as slow as it is just extra frustrating and just like stupid.
This is bad when Rob, the slice of life king, is just knocking out his darlings like this. They must have been real bad.
That's the thing. I have other fantastic slice of life and rom coms that are going to be way up on this list, and you're going to be angry that I didn't get rid of them sooner. So don't complain right now that I'm getting rid of some of them.
I need to air some slight grievances. Last year, I made a mistake. I was like aiming for your Ghiblies because you had like 7 of them, and that just sort of got in my head. What I should have been doing is sniping down your fucking smut, not your Ghiblies, because Ghiblies are all beautiful movies. I don't know what I was doing.
Yeah, you got to
So
argue against smut early and often if you want to
my,
win this list.
my objectives are different this year. I've learned from my ways.
You also shouldn't have told me that because now I'm going to take my smut a lot further along.
I think last year, like Nagatoro and Komi-san and all those things, like got by without me saying a thing, and then you let them go at like 17. Let's see. Let's get rid of Death Parade. Death Parade is one with the groovy opening I told you about, where when people
Oh,
die,
right,
they
right.
go to the bar.
Yeah,
The animation and the music, all of it's real funky and fun, but it was just a little too grim dark for me. I had to stop watching after like 3 episodes, but I appreciate what they were trying to do. Just wasn't for me.
right. You can always respect that. I'd say this is a good time to get rid of Ruri Dragon, right?
I can't believe Ruri Dragon made it this far. Yeah.
Further than One Piece.
Can you sell me on why Ruri Dragon is like not? It made it to the bottom 10. Like it made it above 9 other guys.
I mean, I feel like our bottom 10 is kind of scrunched together. We could have this conversation every day and it would change the order. Today I'm feeling gentle for Ruri Dragon because the only reason it's not continuing is because the author has been sick for like 4 or 5 months. The premise was awesome. It's a girl's mother is down so bad that she has sex with a dragon. And
You
boom, their daughter is a dragon.
you kill me every time you describe the series. Like that is the most enjoyable part about the series is every time you said down bad dragons.
I think the description is what carried it further in this list.
Oh man. Okay. Let's see.
I mean, if you got a problem and you
No, no,
want to
no.
switch something up, you tell me.
It's fine. Like you said, if we shuffle things around on a different day, these are all sort of close to nothing series to me.
Exactly.
Uh, let's get rid of. I'll give it my all tomorrow.
That was a really depressing synopsis of that series.
That was the one that you gifted me, which I appreciated. And then it was just this like fat, annoying dad who just thought so highly of himself trying to make a manga, but he was just absolute shit. And then it was kind of sad and depressing, but also kind of, I don't know how I feel about it, but I finished it. I think it can go out here.
Okay. Um. So I'm gonna.
Oh, okay. Sorry, go ahead.
Why? What do you got? What are we gonna say?
No, go ahead. Go ahead. It can go a little. I had something I wanted to strike out, but I was like, it can go another couple
I'm
spots.
gonna go with what ended up being my biggest disappointment of the year, and it
That
might not have
wasn't One
been.
Piece.
No, no, no. One Piece I was expecting to be crap at this point. This was something I was incredibly excited for, and ended up just kind of being bland and boring. And that is Devil's a Part-Timer season 2. This is one of my
Whoa.
favorite series of all time. I loved season 1 of the anime. I think I gave it a 10 out of 10. I've read all the manga. I'm caught up on the manga. It's not over yet, but this season 2 was just so not exciting. And I know the content. I enjoyed the content in the manga, but the art style was just off. The animation felt kind of like PowerPointy and slow. It just didn't have the energy that I had come to expect from the series.
Did you end
And
up
I
finishing
just,
it?
yeah, it's just, I think the pacing was not great. Also, I don't know. It wasn't this bad for it to be this low, but the fact that I was so disappointed by it is what makes me want to eliminate it at this point.
Okay, so Devil is a Part Timer 2 at 55. You know what's going really far? Just I want to bring this up is My Hero Academia is still alive.
There is a reason for that.
Okay, I just want to make sure that you didn't overlook it because this is a long
No, no,
list.
no. There is a reason for that.
Okay,
You tell me
then
when you want to eliminate it, and then we will talk about it. Then.
I have no dog in that fight. Like if it brought you some sort of happiness because you were hate reading it and it was just schlocky fun, then it could go to top 30. I don't
That's
care.
exactly why it keeps moving. It was so absolutely pants on head stupid and idiotic, and it was so fun, and I'm still kind of enjoying how awful and garbage it is.
Then I will go after. How you feeling about Crazy Food Truck? I read one volume of it, and I was like, "Oh yeah, this is fun."
Oh
But
no, I
like,
really enjoyed it.
okay, then we can let it go a
I
little
don't
longer.
think it's top 25, but definitely not in the 50s.
Okay, then let's see. Let's go Soma season 4 and part of season 5.
Yeah, so this was solely you that watched it, but I've obviously seen it in the past, and season 5 alone is enough for it to be eliminated at this point.
I didn't even finish season 5, but season 4 was like a slog. The very ending where, spoiler alert, Erina and Soma kind of team up and they do the appetizer final main dish combo. That was kind of cool. Like that was fun to watch. But like everything leading up to that, it was like very predictable and kind of boring. And everything that was exciting about the tournament arc in season 2 just totally evaporated in season 4.
Right, it lost all of its like unpredictability and going against what you thought would happen, and it just every single matchup you could say, I know who's going to win, and you'd be right.
In theory, it sounds fun because it's like you have the top 10 fighting against our band of revolutionaries, but I don't know what I exactly wanted to make it better, but I just know I didn't enjoy it.
I agree. Yeah, and then season 5 is an absolute travesty when they lose their chef consultant and they're using chainsaws to cook. It's a disaster.
So it's 54 Shokugeki no Soma.
Yeah, we could definitely eliminate that here. Look, I love Konjiki No Gash 00F, but
Yeah, I was looking at that.
why is that still here?
That I just have an image of Fulgori's hips knocking out the villains. That did not need to be 20 minutes long. That could have been like a 4-minute long YouTube short.
It's fun, it's great, but it's nothing special. It's not actual
Yeah,
quality.
it's totally ridiculous. Yeah, that can go. I was looking at that from my own cut.
Yeah,
Let's see. Like there's a bunch of stuff I have rated at this like middle low tier for me that I know that you love, so I'm not going to touch them yet.
well, I have
Let's
something I can get rid of actually if you're struggling.
I can get rid of Cells at Work. I only read one volume of it. It was a fun time. It's anime Osmosis Jones with a lot more blood. I'll probably read more of it next year, but I didn't have a desire to like dive straight into it after reading it.
That's nice and fair. Summertime rendering, I can understand why people like it, and it's got a really nice animation and art style. But I just didn't really. I wasn't really in the mood for the whole murder mystery. What's the word? Not psychedelic.
Psychological
Sci-fi,
thriller.
yeah,
Not
psychological
sci-fi.
sci-fi. It was
Definitely
like
not
sci-fi.
sci-fi.
It was.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, I don't know. It didn't do it for me, but I appreciate it. That's why I let it go this far. But I didn't actually enjoy it.
I actually watched one episode of that today because I was like, I highlighted a few of these cells in yellow because I was like, I need to dig into this a little bit more.
Yeah,
And the animation's gorgeous.
yeah,
It's interesting, but like it wasn't what I wanted right now.
yeah.
I
It
was like,
just
I don't
didn't.
have, and it's long. It's 25 episodes.
Yeah, I don't know. It just didn't hook me, but I respect it, and that's why I wanted to give it a little bit of a push.
Yeah, I can. It's sort of like Death Parade. Like I respect what you're doing, Rob. I know this is a big Yuri year for you. Actually, no, I'm not going to go after the Yuri. The Yuri deserve better than this. Uh, I'd like to go after Ginka and Luna.
Oh, yeah, this seems like a fair. Wait, no, no, no. Before that, Tokyo Demon Bride story needs to go.
I think Tokyo Demon Bride story made it a little far.
I think it got lucky in that we forgot about it.
Is it bad?
It's bad.
Can we knock it down? Like, because I think we respect
I
what
want to
summertime
put zero
rendering
zero. No, no. I want to put 00F at 50, just so that we have Parker
at
Fulgore at 50, and
at
then we
50.
put Tokyo Demon Bride story at 53. We swap them.
Oh my god. I'm pretty sure Double O F only has like 6 frames of animation in the entire 8 minutes. And then summertime rendering is this like beautiful, like huge budget thing where they're really trying to tell a story and tell something of meaning. But
So 00F is ahead of it. Yes,
so 00F at 50.
yes, and Tokyo Demon Bride story at 53.
That's way too high. I didn't even read this and I knew that thing was garbage.
It was garbage. So that leaves us with Ginka and Luna at 49, right?
If you're okay with that.
I am. I mean, it's Frosty the Snowman, except with magical girls, which, when I say it aloud, sounds awesome. But in reality, it's just been fine and okay. I don't know.
Have you been
It's lacking, I think, a interesting setting.
have you been keeping up with it?
Yes, I am up to date on it, and it's just I don't know what it's missing, but it's missing something.
Yeah, I dropped it after like episode or chapter 4. I was like, this is boring. Like,
Yeah, which
I
is
want
weird
to
because
like
it's
this.
very fast paced, but it's also boring.
But they're filling it with like nothing. That's the
Yeah,
problem. It's
yeah.
fast nothing.
No, I agree with you on that. I'm comfortable getting rid of that here.
Okay, I'm just consolidating our list here.
You see, I'm looking through the list as well, and I'm seeing things that we both engaged with that I know you loved and I hate, and I'm not going to go there yet. I'm not doing it yet.
I know. I can imagine what you're eyeing.
Is it Chainsaw Man?
Yes. It's not going to go that much further, honestly, because if this was our 2019 anime of the year, it would be my number one probably. But this is just
The anime.
the most recent 10 chapters since Chainsaw Man 2 started, as well as the anime. I'm still net positive on it, but I'm not nearly as hyped as I was when I first read it. But I think it can go a little bit further.
I think I'm ready to get rid of the whole of humanity has gone Yuri except for me.
Really? Because I think you gave that like a B plus when we were doing our rankings.
I think I was just being an asshole.
That was your number one thing when we did our rankings.
I think I was doing that just to be a jerk.
Really?
Yeah, because I thought it would be funny to shock you and just have like a complete reversal of the order of what you thought my mangas would be.
I was actually going to have that. Like, that's on my to watch list after you said such good things about it. Should I not have that on my watch list?
You can still read it. I mean, it's quick, but it's also like kind of boring.
Wow.
There were Yuri I read this year that I enjoyed substantially more.
There are so many to choose from.
Yes.
So, in a weird turn of events, I am now odds and you are now evens. I will say maybe we get rid of Mori-chan and Ken-chan, which is like a beautiful little story in honor of Miura, the artist who did Berserk. But
Oh, I read that too. That was so sad.
it's really sad and sweet and heartfelt, but it was just one chapter. It could go a little further, but you know what I mean? It's very short.
It feels almost, I don't know about if disrespectful is the right word, but like, why are we even ranking it? It's more of just it felt like a manga obituary. You know what I mean? Like, it was just like something that he did for himself to feel at peace with the loss of his
Kind of
friend.
the way of his grieving. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this us ranking it does seem kind of disrespectful when you say it like that. But I think it goes at 47.
47 it is. I mean, I wouldn't reread it. It's not, it's definitely not in my top 10.
Did you think I was going to say something really heartfelt?
No, I knew you were. Come on. Who am I talking to? I am going to go with Yokohama Kaidashi Kiko, which is a futuristic Earth slice of life where everything is flooded and our main character is an android. And it's a very slow slice of life, a very slow, flooded out Tokyo. It's fine. It's
fine.
okay. It gets the job done if you're looking for a little slice of life reading, but there's certain slice of life that I can marathon. This is definitely not one of them.
Okay. Did you I remember you bought one volume of it. Did you keep going with it or you just stopped there?
I finished the first volume. There's only one volume out so far. I mean, it's an older series, I think, from the 90s.
You're not diving into the internet to read more of it, though?
No. I think they're coming out like once every 6 months, so I'll wait for the next one.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's some dedication that you're going to keep running with it.
No, because I appreciate it. But it's also, there's so many good slice of lives from this year.
Then let's go with at number 45. Does Shoha Shoten go here?
No, I really like Shoha Shoten.
I guess I like Shoha Shoten, but I don't think it's very funny. And it's it's a comedy manga that's not very funny. And when they come out, I'm like, I don't need to read this right now, but then I'll catch up and binge read. I was like, yeah, that was a good time. I'm not saying it's bad. I just think that it's going to go out in the next 5 to 10-ish.
There have been a couple of moments where I did audibly laugh out loud, though, and that's hard for manga to do for me.
Yeah, and I appreciate the strategy aspect of comedy that they're employing, but we got maybe, 10 chapters this year? Not even?
You know that one scene where he's like just walking upright as a hippo, like had me in tears, and I don't know why. Like
was
when they were
this
doing
year?
When they were doing the animals and he was like biting him, I don't know why that like had me crying.
No, that was a really good one. I thought that was last year because that was one of their earlier competitions.
Right. I think only 2 chapters came out last year, though.
Okay, so yeah, that would be this year. Yeah, it could go further if we're including all that.
I mean, we can get rid of Donald Duck visits Japan at this point.
Okay.
That's another one that I don't know how that made it this far.
Man, I can never trust you again. Donald Duck was like your number 4. Your Yuri one was number 1. I don't even know what to believe anymore.
Donald Duck visits Japan was awesome, but I mean, how far can something like that go?
and his Mexican bird friend, the parakeet.
Yes. Joselito. Nope. Peter.
I don't think
No.
it was Peter.
I don't remember.
All right, I'm gonna get rid of One Punch Man. One
That's
Punch Man
fine with me.
is always like a beautiful art, pretty much close to an animation frame by frame. But the story beats were getting so exciting with the Garo arc finally finishing, and I feel like they really just shat the bed on it. Did you catch up with it this
Just
year?
got too kind of slow.
It became like TTGL, and then it became like Garo's this ultra powerful being, and then it didn't feel like a satisfying ending to end.
No, it just felt like build up, build up, build up, and then kind of,
Yeah, just kind of shat the bed there.
I can agree with that. Okay, where are we at? We're at 43.
I thought we were like moving super fast, which maybe we are, but we're half hour in and we still have 40 left. So
And things are just going to get harder as we get further along here.
we're going to start arguing. We've been pretty friendly
Yeah.
so far.
This is the dump off point. And at this point, we can get rid of My Hero Academia, which has been one of the worst things I read week to week. And this year in particular has been horrendous with the storytelling, but it is so funny how awful it is. It's like a case study in how to destroy your series and goodwill that you once created.
Can you summarize, like, full spoiler? Like, give me like a summary of what has happened. Because occasionally I'll go on the Shonen Jump app, read a chapter, and be like Deku's fighting that yandere girl, and then now Deku's fighting the hand guy, and I'm just like, sure.
So, Rabbit Girl Mirko currently has no limbs left. Bakugo died and then was brought back to life because Edgeshot made himself into an origami heart and sacrificed his life. And for some reason, that means Bakugo is now alive.
With the paper heart, yes.
With a paper heart. Mirio stalled Shigaraki or One for All by showing him his ass. And let's see.
You know who's gotten some good development? Tentacle Guy. I love that guy.
Yeah, that is true, but I don't think that overrides everything else I just finished telling you.
I think they have some strong like civil rights arguments in there with the animal type looking heroes fighting
this is
for
10 chapters after a man turned himself into origami to save a dead child.
I can't believe it'd be 23
which
series.
Which is apparently a power. I don't know why making yourself origami can just bring somebody back to life.
A way to kill off just like a nothing character. Like, what was the point of killing this kid if you're just going to get rid of a shitty character for no reason?
And Mirko literally has no limbs left. She's been ripped apart.
I feel like he has some bunny PTSD or something. Like,
I don't know.
This is an agenda at this point.
It's a great time. Awful series. So much fun.
Still beat out 23 series. Just saying.
Yeah.
Okay, you're not going to like this, Rob. I have two things on my eye. One of them is Crazy Food Truck again, which I just want to get a sense check. If you're like, no, this is going 10 spots higher, okay, I'll leave it alone.
I'd be willing to get rid of it very soon, yeah.
The other one is Aliens Area.
Don't do this to me. I want to get Aliens Area into at least the top 40. Give me 3 more before Aliens Area.
Okay.
I'm willing to get rid of Crazy Food Truck. Aliens Area, I wanted that top 40. It deserved so much better. Let's not do to it what Shonen Jump did to it.
So, we have 3 spots to fill before Aliens Area gets to number 40.
I'm willing to get rid of Crazy Food Truck. It's fun. Is it even interesting? It's not that interesting on premise. It's just a post-apocalyptic guy driving a food truck.
It's a fun time. It's kind of cute. He's kind of got this dad relationship with this weird mutant girl who likes to eat a lot and kind of fills out a lot of shonen tropes.
Yeah,
she shows her titties
it's fun. It's good, but
it's a good time. It's fine.
Now's a good place to get rid of it.
Is there anything that's on your list that you would like to get rid of? Because everything that's kind of in this low mid tier for me is kind of some of your babies that I have on here, and I'm not even going to mention them.
So I can get rid of, and this is probably the lowest that we've done a Studio Ghibli film, is Whisper of the Heart.
Really?
Which, so have you ever seen Whisper of the Heart?
No, I haven't.
So it's basically a teenage coming of age where they're just kind of wanting to follow their dreams. Like the main character, she wants to be a writer, and she falls in love with a kid who wants to be a professional violin player. I don't know. It's very slow, and for some reason there's a magical cat, but he's not really like as magical as I had hoped for. Like he's not actually like there. It's just like part of her imagination sometimes when she's writing. It's not Miyazaki, and I guess I went into it expecting more Miyazaki aspects to it, but then it really just turned out to be a kind of boring teenage romance story.
Is this your like least?
And wait. Also, what's that song? Take me home,
That's in
country
there.
road. This movie acts like they wrote it. Like the girl just like wrote this song for her graduation. It's the
Are they
stupidest
allowed to
thing.
do that? Isn't there some copyright laws around not being able to do that?
I don't know what happened, but it was hilarious.
Is this your least favorite Ghibli film ever? Then
Yeah, because I've watched only. This is the only non-Miyazaki I've watched, and I like all the Miyazakis more than this.
okay, interesting. I'm very surprised this didn't make it to our top 25.
Yeah, no, I would never watch it again.
Is there anything else that you'd like to get rid of before Aliens Area? A couple things that I'll name: A Man and His Cat.
No, not yet.
I Don't Know How to Give Birth.
No, that was really well written.
Magus of the Library.
No, Magus of the Library is phenomenal. I think you'd actually really enjoy that.
And My Divorced Crybaby Neighbor. Those are just a few that I'd like to call out. I don't know anything about them.
No,
but
we're at
they
40. I'm willing to get rid of Aliens Area here.
Okay. I just want to get like a sense check for how you're feeling about those because I know literally zero about them.
Right. I don't see them going too far, but not yet. So we're at 40 Aliens Area, right?
Correct.
Our Men in Black shonen that got murdered by Shonen Jump.
What's the lowest thing you have on your list at this point? I'm just curious.
No, we just dumped like 4 of my series. You have to do something at this point. So I'm not answering that question right now.
My Hero Academia is your series?
You didn't read it this year.
I know, but it's your series, as if it was like something that hurt to cut. I'm just curious. I guess the next lowest thing on my list is probably Shoha Shoten, but you want that to go a bit further. And the reason why I'm asking what you would cut next is because I'd be willing to let go of Chainsaw Man soon.
I mean, I'll never complain about getting rid of Chainsaw Man. I hate Chainsaw Man.
You hate Chainsaw Man.
I could get rid of Blue Box, honestly. This year in Blue Box was brutal.
Dude, I thought it was spicy.
Oh my god, this series slowed to a crawl.
Dude, like, you got the whole confession, you got the stupid Romeo and Juliet. Dude, I was kind of feeling it.
They did the love triangle so poorly, where it was just like, we know Hina's going to lose, so just get to it at this point, because this is like, it felt like they were going in circles so many times.
I kind of liked it, I'm not going to lie.
Oh, I just got so bored with it. Look, I am a aficionado of the rom-com. This did not do it well.
Do you know what this is? This is like yesterday or earlier when we were doing the anime awards and you're like, the Gash Bell fight is the greatest fight ever. And you watched like 3 battles this entire year. And I have seen maybe 2 romances. I was like, I thought it was pretty good. So
okay, so yes, this is the flip side of that conversation.
I'll get rid of Chainsaw Man. I think I like Blue Box more than Chainsaw Man.
Then I'll let you get rid of Chainsaw Man over Blue Box, but I think Blue Box can go next unless you want to keep fighting for it.
The next 4 that I have on my list are all yours. Pretty much, so I can't really say much about them. Shoha Shoten's the only one that we both kind of have mutual stakes in. And you like Shoha Shoten more than you like Blue Box, right?
This year, for sure.
I could let it go, but...
Which one?
I can let Blue Box, but I'd like to get rid of Shoha Shoten unless you have something else you'd like to get rid of.
I would like to say, I can't believe you still have Dragon Ball Superhero on here. You hate Dragon Ball Super. And I didn't see this movie.
I think it's very close. It's like at the top of my low middle rung.
So you're not going to get rid of it right now.
Do I like Dragon Ball Superhero more than I like Blue Box? I think there was a couple things. I'll let Blue Box go one further. I can cut Superhero.
Okay.
I know you haven't seen it yet, so I'm not trying to spoil, but
it's Dragon Ball. I don't care. Spoil away.
There's some really wholesome scenes in it that, for example, like Piccolo's teaching Pan how to fly. That's like just adorable. There's some really cool scenes with Piccolo going undercover as a spy in this secret organization. Like all the Piccolo scenes really got to me, but they executed so poorly on the final boss, as well as Gohan's quote unquote evolution. I thought they did a lot of things terribly. I thought they did some stuff that was kind of fun.
That's Dragon Ball.
Yeah, I guess Dragon Ball Superhero can go at 38.
Okay. So I pushed that one out.
And I don't hate Shoha Shoten. The rest of the stuff I like more, and I don't know a bunch of your stuff.
Right, I feel the same way about your stuff, but you keep saying that about mine, and I'm not like out here attacking your stuff. So I'd relax, pull it back a little bit. We're not even in the top 25 yet. If you want to get combative now, we can get combative, but...
What is something that I have that you're like, let's kill that thing? I think you're talking a lot of bullshit right now.
Everything I know about 86 seems like it's something I hate.
Yes, but it's in my top 10, for sure.
Okay, well then, so is My Divorced Crybaby Neighbor.
Shut up! You're so full of shit. I'm trying to cut out the middling little lingerers, and you're
All right,
going
you know what?
after my
Yes,
top 10.
let's just get Shoha Shoten out of here at
Is there
this
something
point.
else that you like less, or something that's on my list that you're like, I don't think this deserves to be here? That's like not in my top 10.
No, not at this point. You know what? Kaiju number 8 kind of teeters off fast.
I'm happy to get rid of Kaiju number 8 whenever you
The
do,
problem
because
with Kaiju number 8 is that you have a 35-year-old, which should be really cool and different for a shonen protagonist, but he's still written like a 12-year-old.
yeah, he's really cool in the first like 10 chapters. And after that, he kind of sucks.
Yeah, he doesn't develop and he doesn't grow, and he just feels like I'm reading Deku.
Yeah, he's like Deku. Yeah, he's essentially Deku. He got his all for one kaiju power. Do you want that gone here? Because you
Yeah.
read everything, and I'm only the last 10 chapters or so.
Yeah. All right, I'm going to ask you to get rid of something at 36, and then we'll do Shoha Shoten at 35. Wait, where's Blue Box still going?
Oh, I wanted Blue Box. Do you like Kaiju number 8 more than Blue Box, right?
Maybe not.
That's pretty bad because you read all of Kaiju number 8, and I thought it was pretty solid in the beginning before it kind of fell off.
I could do Blue Box here ahead of
36?
Kaiju number 8. Yeah.
Wow.
Because Blue Box,
really?
the thing is with Blue Box compared to Kaiju number 8 is that Blue Box does have Hina in it, for better or worse.
For better or worse. I thought Hina had some great development, even though Taiki's a piece of scum. But Taiki did ask Shinizu Senpai out on a date in the most recent episode.
I'm sure that that's going to turn into something stupid. And it's going to be like, and by go out, I mean, can you go to the grocery store with me? Or something stupid.
This is anime, Rob. This is all stupid.
You relax. This is art.
Rob, do you know the series? You're calling this stuff stupid, and I know your top 10 is just going to be pants on head so fucking dumb.
Yeah, and so is yours.
I'm just saying. You're calling stuff that's stupid here.
Grim Dark Garbage like 86 and Chainsaw Man, even though Chainsaw Man is obviously gone already. Whatever.
Yeah, so what you're saying has no validity. I didn't expect to be getting at you this so early.
This is ridiculous. Just put Shoha Shoten at 35. We've been trying to get rid of it at this point for like 20 minutes.
I'm curious if you wanted to keep it going, how far would it go for you?
Yeah, I could. I mean, if it was my personal list, I'd probably be in the top 25, but this is both of us, so it could go now, and that would make sense.
How about this? I'll give you Rooster Fighter at 35, and then
Sure.
Rooster Fighter, it's about a rooster. It's a satire comedy where he fights kaiju, and he's just a little chicken, and he's kind of a Chad.
Rooster.
He's a rooster.
He's not a chicken.
Roosters are chickens.
Justin, you have the rooster, you have the chicken, and the hen. If the rooster is having sex with the chicken, who is having sex with the hen?
What is happening
I
right
don't
now?
know. So Rooster Fighter at 35.
Rooster Fighter at 35. Again, if there's something that you want to target for me that's not one of my top 10, I'm happy to have the discussion. I'm just going after Shoha Shoten because I don't know anything else that's sort of in the middle.
I can get rid of a Man and His Cat at this point. Man and His Cat is really wholesome about I guess probably a 55-year-old man whose wife had passed away, so he bought a cat, and the cat has brought him enormous happiness. It's really sweet and really heartfelt. I think right in the middle of our list is a good spot for it. It's a really sweet, well-written series, and I've enjoyed everything that I've read of it. I've read about 4 volumes.
Okay. The cat's so funny looking. I love that cat.
Yeah, this cat is incredibly ugly, but he thinks it's the cutest thing in the world.
You really like Blank Canvas, right? That was an emotional series for you, right?
Yeah. That's going to go substantially further for me.
And I know you love Akane.
Oh, yeah. I mean, if you're trying to knock out some of mine, my divorced crybaby neighbor is sitting right there.
Okay, so those are some of the ones that were in the middle because I have a taste of them for me.
Yeah.
That's the ones I can speak to. Whereas my divorced crybaby neighbor, I know nothing about. So if you think it's not great, then we can get rid of it.
She's a large, woe-pied divorcee that has zero confidence and is trying to hook up with her neighbor. And each chapter is 4 pages and hijinks ensue. They've moved in together, but they haven't even held hands.
Do you like it?
Oh yeah, it's like the epitome of smut, though.
I was gonna say, is
this
the
smuttiest thing on this list? Yeah.
I know you like Shoha Shoten. I will do something.
Oh wait, we still have Shoha Shoten going.
Shoha Shoten's still here because, again, I'm not trying to go after Shoha Shoten. I just think it's a middle of the road series at this point in time.
Let's get it to 30.
I'll get rid of Baki.
Everything about Baki is hideous.
Baki is horrendous looking. It is kind of hilarious. I watched all 24 episodes of this anime, and you know what? it just kind of fumbles the bag at the end. Like there's these 5 criminals that are just like they cheat when they fight. They like have bombs and guns and they're ridiculous, but they seem so overpowered in the beginning, and by the end they kind of get stripped of their powers without any narrative reason. They just sort of get shat on. And I was like, why were these guys so dangerous in the beginning if you can get rid of them so easily now? I still love the scene where Baki's about to have sex with his girlfriend and his dad is standing behind him saying, "Do it."
It's just so ugly and weird.
They're disgusting. It'd probably go like top 20 for me, but yeah, it's fine. It's horrendous looking. I still sort of love it.
Okay, we're at 31. What do I want to do here? It's getting hard. It is getting hard at this point.
Now we're like in places that we really enjoy everything left, I think.
Yeah, I think we can do Shoha Shoten at 31 because there are a couple that I want to have the honor of being in the 20s at least. And Shoha Shoten, while I really enjoy it, there's nothing about it that it deserves to be in the top 30. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, again, it only came out with like 10 chapters this year.
Exactly.
Can you tell me a little bit about Sazan and Comic Girl? I'm not trying to get rid of it. I just know nothing about it.
Oh, it's really cool. It's one volume. It's pretty thick, maybe about 350, 400 pages. It's
Okay.
all in watercolor. It's
Oh.
like really, really cool to like read through. The story is like a generic like space story of like a human meeting this comet girl, and she's magical, but like she brings destruction to everyone she meets,
Sounds like me.
and he falls in love with her. And he's well, yeah, just like you. And he tries to save her, and there's the hijinks that ensue with that. It's really good. It's really fun, and I love, love, love the art because I'm a sucker for watercolor too.
Oh, I love it when they do it. It's just very rare that you get that.
And the whole thing is in the color. So I would like this to go quite a bit further.
Perfectly fine.
I think this was one of the manga my wife got me for either Christmas or my birthday.
I remember she got you like 6 things, including a man and his cat, and like
This one might have been Christmas.
my senpai is
but
annoying.
I loved it.
Okay. Of the things that are left, I pretty much like all the things that are specifically mine. I don't know how much of yours is kind of middling. Like Bocchi the Rock is kind of close to me here. It's only 5 episodes in. I do really enjoy it. It's a cute girls doing cute things. The comedy of it is hilarious whenever she gets like really stupid looking. I'm just sort of I think it's gonna go soonish maybe because it's only 5 episodes, but I do appreciate it. Unless you're like pushing
I'm
for
fine
it.
with that. I think I feel the same way about Bocchi the Rock as you do.
I like Bocchi more than
I
do
think
it
now's a good time.
yourself, but you like do it yourself more, right?
Yes, and I feel more passionately about it than you do about Bocchi the Rock, I'm sure.
You know what? Let's switch this. Actually, I want to get rid of I think our son is gay next at 30.
Okay.
And then if there's nothing else you want, then I'm happy with Bocchi there.
I could do 29. If you're doing I think our son is gay at 30, then at 29 I could do something else.
Okay. Yeah, I think our son is gay is this really sweet story about this kid who's probably gay, and his mom's like, I think our son is gay. And then the dad's like, be a man, go get the girls. And he's like really awkward about it because the dad's kind of tone deaf.
Yeah.
I read 3 volumes and it was a good time. It's very cute and very wholesome.
I could get rid of Star Wars Lost Stars at this point. It's a 3-volume Star Wars manga. I think it's an adaptation of a book. It's pretty dope. I mean, it's a Star Wars Rebel Empire Romeo and Juliet type of deal. I really enjoyed it. It was cool. Nothing special. It's Star Wars. It's never going to be high art, but I did enjoy it.
Not like the Phantom Menace.
No. Nothing can touch the Phantom Menace.
This is hard now.
Yeah. I'm looking through.
Is there anything of mine that you're sort of like, that thing seems sus?
Not yet. Not at this point. I think I can get rid of I Don't Know How to Give Birth at this point.
Okay.
Which is autobiographical manga about a mangaka and her like story of trying to get pregnant and eventually giving birth. It's really interesting because it gives a look at like how the Japanese, like how their society views pregnancy and women and all of that. And it's really interesting to see all of that. I bought this for my wife. She really enjoyed it. I thought it was a really eye-opening, well-written, and funny too little story.
Okay, cool. And I think it's especially prevalent since you guys are having a baby.
Yeah, which is why I got it for her.
Yeah, I can see how it definitely hits different this year in particular.
Yeah.
I have two on my mind. One of them is Bocchi, and then the other one is Isekai Oujisan. I think Isekai
Okay.
Oujisan's like a hilarious satire where the uncle just like he has beautiful elf woman fawning over him, and he's just like they keep trying to take my money, or like they're so mean to me, but they're all just tsunderes. I think the opening slaps. It has some really weird production issues where it just stopped producing after episode 7, which is sad.
Ah, right.
And I was like,
One of
oh,
those.
it's delayed like 1 or 2 weeks, and it just hasn't made anything since then, or at least last time I checked, which is a shame. But
I blame Netflix.
yeah, probably. I had a really good time with it, but it can go out pretty soon. I feel like there's sort of a compromise going on where it's like, I'll get rid of one of mine, you get rid of one of yours, and then we get rid of our mutual, which would be Bocchi this time.
I would like to, if possible, put I don't know how to give birth at 25, and then we get rid of this, Bochi, and Ryakuma's Theme Park Adventure.
Wow, that just jumped 3 spots. I didn't know you felt that strongly about it.
I wanted it in the top 25. It was really like well done, and I think kind of impressive for doing something very different.
I will give you that if we put Isekai Oji-san on top of Bocchi.
Yeah, that's fine. And then Ryakuma's Theme Park Adventure, which is really just a show for merchandising and marketing. As much as I enjoy it,
How
it
do
can go
these
at
shows
28
make it so fucking far?
because they're fun.
So Rilakuma 28, Bocchi 27, Isekai Oji-san 26, and then I don't know how to give birth at 25.
Perfect. Cracks the top 25.
You love the numbers mean so much to you. Like the milestones. Like for
The
me, I'm just
landmark
like
numbers, they do. They're
for me
important.
it's like I just want to get rid of things in the order that I think that they deserve to go. You're like, but can we make it push to 40?
Well, because when I'm sitting here actually visualizing it, I say this deserves to have that milestone. This was that good, and it did this much, and I want it in those spots.
I respect it. I respect the way you
I
play
mean,
this
you
game.
you respect the top 5, you respect the top 10. You got to also respect the top 30 and top 25.
I respect the top 11 because the 11th spot is like just like the shit spot.
You don't want to be 11. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like you're good, but like we have 24 spots left, Rob.
Whew. This is where things get a little hairy. All right. I'll get rid of my. I'll get rid of Catch These Hands, which was an awesome Yuri about a couple of high school delinquents. That's actually that's
I was waiting for the.
it's a it's a Yuri about a couple of former high school delinquents. They're now like middle-aged women, and they reignite their love that they didn't even know they had for each other when they were in rival delinquent gangs.
This one really caught my eye when you told me about it a few months ago. I never got around to reading it, but I think I'll actually take a look at this next year.
You would hate it.
You think? I can dabble in a little bit of Yuri.
It was good. I enjoyed it.
Is that the best Yuri you have on this list? Do you no longer have any Yuri? It
I believe this was the last of my Yuri, yes.
was a strong year for Yuri. Cracked the top
Although
25.
Do It Yourself might be Yuri at some point.
Oh, Bocchi the Rock was also Yuri, but that also got cut already.
Not as much as Do It Yourself.
Oh, man.
I mean, I got a hot take for you if you're ready for it.
Yeah, I'll listen.
My Dress Up Darling.
It's close for me. Between that and Sakamoto Days, where are you feeling?
I actually thought this was a really good year for Sakamoto Days, but I think our series that are ongoing kind of lose a little bit of their power because they're not like one package.
Right, and you don't get the shock value of the first time reading it.
Right.
But I would say it's the responsibility of the series to keep me entertained enough. Like, for example, a series that will probably go very, very high, Gash Bell 2, it has the ability to contend every year. So does every other series on here.
That's true. No, you're right, but I think it has to be really special. And while I think Sakamoto Days had the best year of all of our ongoing series, I don't see it going much further.
Yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. I'm like, oh, it was fantastic. Solid B plus the entire year, consistently good, but
Yeah.
nothing that I'm like, remember that one moment? I don't remember that one moment.
Yeah, maybe we should get rid of it here then. I don't think it's top 20 material.
What was the other one we were talking about? Dress Up Darling?
Dress Up Darling.
I would cut Sakamoto Days first because I think Dress Up Darling had some really sweet and wholesome moments. The jiggle physics were fantastic.
The jiggle physics were fantastic.
I don't know how I let Marin lose Waifu of the Year so easily. I should have fought a little harder.
My problem with My Dress Up Darling is that it I ended up reading the manga after finishing the anime, and the manga is incredibly slow, and the romance develops at a snail's pace, worse than anything else I've even talked about so far. And ultimately, I think once I got to the manga is when I realized, wait a second, this is about cosplay, and I don't care about cosplay.
Yeah, that's the thing. You told me that, and I purposely didn't read the manga because I loved the romantic energy was really good in that 13 episodes that they had, and the fact that it doesn't kind of grow more moving forward is really disappointing. And I'm like,
Yeah, it just meanders.
let me just keep it contained in this little bubble that I do
Yeah.
know. And I think the ending is like super sweet. They go to the festival and like they're talking on the phone, and he carries her home. Like it was really, really warm, and I was surprised that I liked this smut so much.
You ended at a good point.
Yeah, I could get it here at 22 unless there's something else that you'd like to get rid of.
Nah, no, that's it for me for this.
We're moving along pretty swiftly. We're at 1 hour
Yeah,
and there's 20 series left. I thought we were going to go
I
for 3 hours.
will say that the top 15 is where things are going to get really ugly.
I'm curious how far you're going to push some of these. I mean, I have my own as well, so we'll see.
I mean, go ahead and eliminate something. You're up. I know it's rough at this point.
How far is Urusei Yatsura going with 4 episodes?
5 episodes. I just love the animation so much, and I at this point know I'm going to enjoy the whole season.
I also really appreciate the animation. I don't think I'm going to watch any more of it. It's so colorful and beautifully animated, and they do 3D well when they use it. I'm just curious, like, how much attachment you have to it, or is it just something to, like, marvel at?
I don't know. It's every episode is self-contained, so and I've enjoyed each one, so I don't see why I wouldn't enjoy the rest of it.
That's fair.
And I've really enjoyed it so far.
I almost want you to attack some of mine because I am having trouble deciding what goes next.
I mean, for you're just how many chapters of Ippo came out this year?
Ippo's going higher.
But you're 1,500 chapters into a series. You read how many chapters of it this year? Maybe 20?
No, about 40, at least 40, and it had.
Oh, they release weekly?
I'm not sure. The way I read Ippo is I just sort of stop reading it and then I read it. So it might have been the last 2 years worth of content, but it had 3 of the best fucking fights I've ever seen in Ippo out of the 1,500 chapters, or maybe I forgot a lot of the fights, but they have been amazing.
Okay.
Ippo's going real high for me.
Zombie 100 still?
That's pretty good. I really like Zombie 100. I'll tell you this, Zombie 100's going before Ippo.
Okay. That's fine.
I'll sense check you that.
I really want Urusei Yatsura in the top 20, so
I can let it go to the top 20. We can work on some
we have something else here at 21.
Tell me about Love After World Domination, Rob.
No. It's Power Rangers, except rom-com and Romeo and Juliet, but not like drama. It's just hilarious. It's the Power Rangers villain is Reaper Girl, and the Red Ranger is in love with her, and they go on little dates in between, like during battles, and they're only like getting into fights with each other so that they can run off while everybody else is still fighting. It's great.
That sounds way better to me than something like Uzaki-chan. Uzaki-chan sounds awful, and I've seen 1 episode of Uzaki-chan. I'm just trying to like sense check your smuts.
Let me ask you something. Is Uzaki-chan just season 2 from this year, or did we talk about it last year? Because I don't remember if I watched season 1 of it this year also for the first time, in which case I have a whole lot of Uzaki-chan from this year, or if that was part of last year's.
Give me one moment.
Thinking that Uzaki is all just this year, in which case I cannot get rid of it yet.
Uzaki is not in our anime of the year 2021 at all.
Okay, so she's going to keep riding.
Wow.
Wait, let me ask you something. You're looking at last year's list? How did Nagatoro go?
21.
21? Okay, then Uzaki's got to go at 21 because they're about the same level.
I don't think that's how it works, but if you're willing to get rid of one of your pieces of garbage, then I'm happy to let it go as well.
Okay, that's fair. Never mind. Never mind.
So Uzaki at 21?
Uzaki at 21.
Sell me on Uzaki and how it made it so high.
I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. She's a short stack, large wolf hide Q-tip, and isn't that all you need?
Do you love Uzaki?
I also like that. Yeah, I'd hang out with her. I also love that it's like not the high school rom-com, it's the college rom-com, so you're getting a little bit more
She looks like a 12-year-old.
of an intro. Well, I think it's the haircut. Doesn't do her any favors.
No, it does not.
Okay, so now I can get rid of Urusei Yatsura because it'll be in the top 20.
I'm not trying to make you cut all of your stuff because it does kind of feel that
Oh,
way.
no. Trust me, I'm not going to be as kind very soon.
I'm just saying, like, when we're getting higher, I'm happy to get rid of stuff. I'm not just making you drop everything. Although it would be kind of nice to have all three of these pieces of garbage right next to each other.
Why? What else do you want to get rid of?
No, you have a dress up darling Uzaki-chan, and if you had Urusei Yatsura, just the three of them kind of hanging out.
Oh yeah, the triumvirate. Yeah, let's dump it at 20 for Uzaki. I mean, for Urusei Yatsura. Sorry, Lum.
I will get rid of. I don't think you'll like this, even though it's not yours, but I think I'll get rid of Vinland Saga.
Really?
I watched it. I didn't read it, and that might have been to my detriment.
I mean, that's fair, because I think the anime, while fantastic, was a little slow.
Yes, it dragged.
I did watch a little of the anime, and it was a little slow.
I think the beginning does a really good job with the setup. Then there's that really long winter that takes like fucking 5 episodes for them to kind of survive. And Askeladd's doing all sorts of horrible shit. I think there are a lot of anticlimactic moments as well. Like, for example, when Thorfinn fights, what's Thorkel? Everyone's fucking named Thor.
Yeah.
Like, the defeat of Thorkel was so anticlimactic because he is such a cool character. And they're like, if you kick him in the cheek, he'll die. And I was like, what?
But why?
So there was a whole bunch of fights that were really cool, and there's a whole bunch of fights that they just sort of like just dampened. Like they just threw a bucket of water on it, even though it could have been more interesting.
Yeah.
The ending was amazing. I will.
What point does it end at?
It ends in the bar with Askeladd going nuts.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah, because I had read it years ago, so I didn't watch all of the anime.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's like I want to like it more. I think I'll probably continue manga because I have been told I've read the comments on the trailer for season 2, and they're like, I don't know how they're gonna do Farmlands for next
Farmland
season.
Saga. I could not watch Farmland Saga.
Okay, so that puts Vinland Saga at 19. Unless you have something you're like, Vinland Saga is really great and you want to push it higher.
No. I mean, we're mostly talking about that first anime season for Vinland Saga, and I can't talk too much more about it other than the first couple of episodes.
Does Vinland Saga get better after the first arc, after prologue?
Honestly, the prologue is kind of the peak for me, but it's still good.
Okay. Because I was like, how are you going to beat that with this Farmlands? I was just curious.
No, I mean, I love the prologue.
18 spots left, Rob.
18 spots left. Okay.
I have no idea what your top 5 looks like. I only know your top 1.
I don't know my top 5 yet either.
Because I'm looking at some of these, and I've seen some of these. I'm sort of like, yeah, it was good.
This is tough. You got rid of Vinland Saga. You still want to push Zombie 100?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I could get rid of... You're going to keep pushing Haikyuu too? 2 seasons of Haikyuu?
2.5, like season 2, 3, and I'm in the middle of season 4.
Okay.
I know I'm being pretty guarded. If you're kind of going to put a standstill, then we can talk a little bit more about some of these.
No, I mean, I think at this point I could get rid of Seizan and Comic Girl.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was awesome, but it's not something I'd ever reread. I love the art of it, like I had mentioned. But the story is just there. The story just kind of pushes along the beautiful art.
I don't think I felt this strongly last year about some of my series. Like, I have like 10 darlings that I'm like, oh, these are really good. And last year I was sort of like, I just got to protect my top 3 or 4.
Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely getting tough at this point. Everything left I feel passionate about other than Blue Lock.
I am
as
caught
far
up
as things
on
I've
Blue
engaged
Lock.
with. Yes.
Yeah. I quite liked Blue Lock, but I've said that about every single thing you've called out for me. The lowest thing on mine is actually, I don't know if that's true. This is how I initially ranked it. I put your boy Kong Ming as like high middle. But is that true? I don't know. And it's something that we both consumed and we both really enjoyed together.
Yeah.
Which would let it go ahead some individual enjoyment.
But we also both, I feel like if we both engaged with the series like Blue Lock and one of us feels negatively and one of us feels positively, that we kind of have to meet in the middle on that. And it's not that I don't feel negatively about Blue Lock, but I think the anime kind of knocks down a lot of the momentum of it for me. because the anime of it was so boring.
That's fair. And I guess I'm just kind of I'm standing behind like 180 chapters of it, which is why I'm sort of like it could go. I could let it go soon. I just don't think it's number 17 worthy necessarily. Like imagine 170 chapters of like Eye Shield 21. It's not as good as Eye Shield 21, but it is
Right.
pretty good. Um, shit.
You're gonna have to concede something at some point.
I agree with you. I do agree with you. I think of all the things on here. Okay, let me just talk out loud.
Okay, yeah, do what you need
Let
to
me
do.
think out loud. So Blue Lock is something that was like not always fun to read, but when it's good, it's amazing, and the art is great. The characters are fun. It's a little bit emo at times, but I still sort of like it. And then Zombie 100 is just like a really fun and inspiring time. I think I had nothing going on that day, and I read it, and it's just sort of makes you say to yourself, why am I just sitting at home doing nothing when this kid is in a zombie horde and he's crossing off the coolest things off of his bucket list? Like he's like, I'm gonna go drink with these airline girls and I'm gonna go and play video games all day and I'm gonna go to the very tip of Japan. And he's just like living his best life.
Wait. Are you saying that you're sitting at home wondering why you're not doing anything because a kid sitting at home playing video games all day is making you jealous?
That's the one that comes to my mind, but that's the opposite. But like he's just doing everything that he wants to do after living this really like shitty corporate life, which I have also experienced. The only thing that's pulling it down is the most recent arc was really bad. But besides that, the adventure aspect of it has been really fun and lighthearted and enjoyable.
Why did I wish for this adventure?
I guess I would knock off Blue Lock before I knocked off Zombie 100 because of the feelings I get when I talk about them. Like Blue Lock
Okay,
is like objectively good, and then Zombie 100 makes me feel happier.
right. So are you doing that now?
I could do that now unless you want to sacrifice one of your children.
Not quite yet, no. So you're gonna
So
do
Blue Lock at
Blue Lock
17.
at 17, Zombie 100 at 16, and then I can get
I
all of
didn't say
mine.
that.
And then I can get all of mine into the
Relax.
top 15.
Relax a little bit. I think you gotta throw something on the table. Do you really love Castle in the Sky that much?
Oh yeah. Did you
Yeah,
not? Have you seen it?
I have seen it. I watched it in 2 sittings because I thought it was really slow, but
Really?
it's really sweet and warm. It makes you feel cozy.
I felt like it was the most Ghibli of any Ghibli movie.
It meanders a little bit in the middle,
But that's what Ghibli movies do.
and I'm saying that's not great.
But I'm saying that's part of the appeal of the movies is that they know they don't need to kind of captivate you as much with their story as because their music and their aesthetic are enough to push things along. You enjoy those lows because there's so many highs also. I think the lows build into the highs.
I'm not disagreeing with you. Like I understand it's a purposeful artistic choice, but I remember being a little bit bored with it. But as a whole package, I really do enjoy it. I'm just curious how much you enjoyed it
I enjoyed it a
because it's
ton, and I also it's so clear when you watch it how much influence it has on the video game industry, especially, and like games like
really
Final Fantasy, um, and other anime as well. Like the whole like, and the new Zelda game is going to be
yes,
everything in the sky. Like
absolutely.
it's you really see its influence when you watch it, and I appreciate it for that too. Among just loving the movie and the music and all that.
Okay, I mean that's fair. I'm not trying to kill it. That's just I probably would have gotten rid of it around here if this was for me.
Well, I mean, as much as I love it, like I said with Blue Lock, you don't feel as passionately about Akane Banashi as I do, and it's not going to be like something I'm pushing hard for in the top five. So, you know,
Interesting.
I do love it. I think it's really cool how they made a series about Rakugo, and this is honestly kind of the sports series of Shonen Jump right now. Like we just had a tournament arc where they're
I'm
doing
gonna
their
pause
Rakugo
for a
battles.
second,
Yeah,
and I just realized I took your number 17 spot. Do you want that spot for anything?
no, I mean, I do like the number 17, but
You do love the number 17. Know how much you love your spots.
give me Akane in 17, and you can do Blue Lock in 16.
That's fine. I'm just saying, I'm doing you a favor over
Yeah,
here.
yeah. Well, I wouldn't call it a favor. Yours is moving up, so relax, buddy.
I mean, I don't care that much about Blue Lock. I could put a Blue Lock at 17 if you'd like.
Kane Banashi at 7. No, that it feels good at 17. Actually, she was a top waifu contender as well.
She's not a waifu.
Oh yeah, well, I'm not having this argument again. All right, so
Fucking
now we're
kills.
in
You
the
know what?
top 15, right?
We are. You're like, I'm ready to let go of all of these now because they made the 15 number.
Well, no, now I want to make the top 10.
Okay.
That's what's important to me now.
Let's see. Okay, there's quite a few things on here that I really like, but they all sort of have these tiny and or fatal flaws. But it's sort of like Naruto and Bleach, where you have these amazing highs and these also awful lows, and that's kind of where I'm at with some of these that remain.
Right.
Look, I'll give you an example. I'll give you an example.
Where's the example?
For example, 20th Century Boys, at one point I said, this might be in my top three. This is about 150 chapters in. It is just this masterfully written thriller, detective, a little bit of horror, mystery novel. And then at the last third or so, it just sort of devolves. Like they throw tons of red herrings at you, and you're like, oh, I think I get it. And then it's like, no, you don't. And then at the very end, you're like, okay, they've been hyping all this up. I'm ready for the final reveal. And you're like, what? And I was like, am I too stupid to get this?
That might have been the
And I
problem.
go, that might have been it. But then I went online and they're like, oh, you have to read 21st Century Boys, which I thought was a whole different series. It's literally just a continuation. Like, I don't know why he turned it into a second series. And it was like 2 more volumes.
No.
And it was
Oh,
really
okay.
mediocre.
Because I was about to ask you, is it more of a Naruto Boruto thing where they are different series but obviously connected, or 20th and 21st is essentially the same thing?
Literally, you could have called it 20th Century Boys. And I wouldn't have known the difference.
Right. Okay.
And the thing is, like, the final villain, the motivation of the villain, who is this mysterious psychopath who is setting off this virus that makes people bleed from every orifice of their body, and he's killing people like crazy. The reason for that he's doing this is like the only thing stupid there that I can think of is Broly being angry at Goku for crying when he was a baby. Like,
That was
I
a good
was so
reason.
I was so frustrated by the end of it. But the beginning is just like
That's
S
not
tier writing,
ideal. Yeah.
which is just so disappointing. And I was like, man, this is getting a little bit of a trudge, but I'm going to power through because
Hmm.
uh, it's been really good. They're going to pay it off, and they don't.
So then the question is, are you getting rid of something that was phenomenal for 90% of its run but had a bad ending in favor of something that's ongoing that's been just, very solid throughout?
If I'm going, I think there's a couple. So this is just one example. There's a bunch of stuff on this list left. Like, for example, Ranking of Kings is another example of that, where the
Correct.
opening is phenomenal, and then the ending is not as atrocious as this, but it is pretty pretty sad of what it turned into when it could have been something better, right?
Yeah, but I think we both really enjoyed it, and I think that's important for this list.
For sure. I'm not trying to cut Ranking of Kings here because it's a series for both of us, but I'm just saying that that's how I feel about that. I feel a little bit that way about 86. Um, and also Haikyuu, which had some great moments. Like, for example, Tsukishima getting his block in
I
season
love
3 was like,
Tsukushima. Yeah.
my mind like exploded. Like, I came buckets when that happened.
And you also got to think, like, how good of writing is it that you're getting that excited for a character just blocking one ball? You know?
That I hated from season
Right,
1.
exactly.
Um, but now I'm in the middle of season 4. Well, the conclusion of season 3 was a little anticlimactic, and I'm in the middle of season 4, and I'm sort of like, this is kind of dragging as well. Am I just kind of tired of volleyball, or is the animation and the budget getting stretched?
It
I don't know
definitely,
how you
yeah,
felt.
the animation definitely falls off at some point later in its run.
Like the twins, they seem like really scary characters that you're about to face, and they're okay. I thought they were
Yeah,
going to be better than they are,
yeah.
right?
No, I
Did you
agree with
love
you on
season
that.
4?
No, I no, I loved it. Yes, because I really enjoy
Okay.
Haikyuu. I think it's really good, but I didn't enjoy it as much as I enjoyed previous seasons.
Yeah, season 1 and 2 were like really amazing
Yeah,
for me. And season 3 and 4 have their peak moments, but they also have these kind of like dwindling moments. So that's
no,
where I'm
you're
at.
right.
I'm at a point where there's a bunch of really amazing stuff that just is not consistently amazing.
And all of that really amazing stuff is going to get passed by do it yourself.
Oh my god, I need to kill Do It Yourself soon. How many episodes of Do It Yourself? 6?
Seven, I think, 6 or 7. But the thing is, I know what do it yourself is going to be. It's going to be K-On! Except DIY and woodwork and stuff like that. And I like that.
But you love your girls, and I respect that. And this is our list. I'm gonna have some edgy shit in the top. You're gonna
Yep.
have some cute, stupid girls, and they're gonna be opposites. And we're gonna be like, this should be 40th on my list for both of us. But that's how this works.
All that is to
I think
say, what are you getting rid of at 15?
I'll get rid of 20th Century Boys at 15 because the amount of vitriol that I just spit at it.
Yeah, okay. And then you're going to keep pushing Haikyuu, though.
Yes,
Okay.
because that's like 40 episodes worth of content, and I really did enjoy season 2 and a lot of season 3. And I love those boys. Those boys are just like
Yeah,
so
you do.
wholesome.
You fall in love with those boys.
And like I was just in a episode recently where Tanaka is just
Tanaka.
having a real tough time in the game, and he just doesn't give up on himself, and he perseveres.
Yeah, it's great.
You know what I'm
I love
saying?
Haikyuu. Haikyuu's so good.
Haikyuu's really good.
All right, so 14, I will get rid of Magus of the Library at this point, which is one of the most gorgeous series I've ever had the privilege of reading. I think you'd really appreciate it if you looked at it. The artwork is phenomenal. The only thing that knocks it out now is it's a story about like a kid that just like wants to be a librarian, and in this world that's like one of the highest prestiges and privileges and honors. It's ongoing. It's only 5 volumes out right now. Um, it it's not the quickest story to read. It's a little text heavy, and there's a lot of stuff to keep track of that, like in my head, I know isn't really that important, but they're like spending a lot of time trying to explain it. But I really enjoyed my time with it with those 5 volumes, and whenever volume 6 comes out, I'll definitely get it.
The art style is really nice. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Bride Story, just like the amount of
Yes.
detail and love in the rendering. Um, I might check this one out. This
Yeah,
is really
I
cool.
think you'd really appreciate this story.
13.
13. Oh. These next 3 are going to be rough, fighting for that top 10 spot.
I gotta like recalibrate. I gotta see like what am I really trying to protect if I only have to protect like 3 things, let's say.
Yeah. Oh man, this is going to be tough.
Okay, I think I know what's I know what needs to be protected now. What goes?
Okay, then go.
I will get rid of. Okay, I want to talk about Spy Family a little bit. Also,
Okay.
I'm not saying it has to go yet. I'm
No,
just saying
I'm willing to have this conversation at this point,
it was number 3 last year in our anime manga of the year.
which was just manga, right?
Just manga,
Yes, that was
correct?
just manga.
So we're rehashing all the same things of something we already know that was executed excellently. I'm not trying to say it wasn't. And the latest manga chapters have also been good as well.
And the anime adaptation has been very good.
Correct. Yep. And it's an adaptation of something we have already consumed, but it couldn't have been better. And I remember during the year, for at least like 4 podcasts, we were like, we need to stop talking about Spy Family because we love this too much.
Yeah.
I'm just saying,
think we should get rid of it yet then, based on everything that we're saying and how we felt. And we got an awesome Lloyd flashback this year too in the manga.
I think it probably breaks into our top 10, I'd guess. But I'm just saying, I think a little bit of tax should be applied to it at some
I
point.
agree, and I don't think it, for me personally, gets further than the number 10 spot for us. But I think it should be there.
It's around, yeah, give or take there. But I just want to keep that. I want to make sure we're on the same page.
We are on the same page with that. Why don't we just put Spy Family in at 10 right now?
That's not how this works. We gotta
We
keep
have
chugging,
to go
Rob.
in order? All right, 13.
We had to go in order. We had to power through.
Okay.
And I will get rid of Zombie 100 Bucket List of the Dead.
Okay, I figured as much.
Great series. I wish it didn't have that last kind of not great arc. Still really inspiring and fun, and one of the best adventures I've read in a long time. I think you would love it. This kid's like also a little stupid little shitty Chad, and there's this tsundere girl. Like you're the main character, and I'm the tsundere girl who's like very logic filled and saying like, in a zombie invasion, we should gather all these materials and we have to conserve energy in this. And you're like, let's have fun. And I'm like, you're wasting our time. We need to do this way.
I really do need to read it. I think I'd enjoy it.
Based on all the series on here, you have to read this one of everything that I have on here that you haven't touched. So Zombie 100, unlucky number 13.
All right, so I think at this point it's obvious I'm going to have to get rid of one of mine before the top 10, and the other one will be Haikyuu. Right?
We'll talk. We'll see.
I'm not getting rid of more than one more before we hit the top 10. I'm going to be 100% real with you here.
I'm not telling you to. I'm just saying.
I'm just telling you what's happening at this point.
I don't like this tone of voice that you're giving
me. This is tough because I'm just going to go through all mine. Blank Canvas is very special. I really enjoyed it. It was a very emotional story, and I appreciated it for that. Do It Yourself is like the prime cute girls doing cute things anime of the year, and that is one of my number 1 genres. Love After World Domination is one of the smuttiest smuts I've ever had the privilege of watching. And then everything else is stuff we've watched together. that I don't want to get
I
rid
don't
of
know
yet.
I didn't realize how strongly you felt about Love After World Domination. I thought it was just like a meme for us to like this.
It kind of was, but like within that meme, I also really loved it.
Okay, I didn't realize it was 10 spots better than all the other smut that you consumed this year.
But
But
that being said, if I have to get rid of any of the ones I have left before 10, it would be Love After World Domination.
interesting, man. You
Yeah.
really love Do It Yourself.
there's,
That's what I gathered from
there's
all of
just
this.
something about do it yourself that tickles the right bone for me.
I'll edit that part out, or maybe we'll keep it in just to show that I'm persevering
Through
through.
this COVID. That was rough.
Top 11. I
Now it's
think we
you.
have to have a
It's
talk.
no, we're not having a
Yeah.
talk. It's Haikyuu. Just put Haikyuu at
No, no,
11
no, 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 no. Let
or
me
80.
let me talk
Whatever
about
you're
these
gonna
things.
do. Okay.
I just wanna feel out Ranking of Kings and your boy Kangming. I think they
want those
both probably
in the top
go
10.
in the top 10 because we both consumed them. I'm just saying they both have some little fatal potential flaws in them.
I agree
I
with
just want
you
to acknowledge
absolutely,
that.
but I really enjoyed our experience of discussing them together and watching them together at the same time. And I think
I
that's
agree.
important for this list is that we enjoy those things together.
Correct. I just wanted to
Because
feel
that
it
is the
out.
point of S Class.
To be angry at each other and never make a video. That's the point of S Class.
For you, maybe.
Of all these things, I think Haikyuu has to go.
Yeah, I'm aware. That was always the case.
Haikyuu at number 11.
Okay.
I think it would probably be in my top 5, though.
Okay, that's fair. Now that we're in the top 10, wait, let me think. Now I got to think because I got to visualize what my top 5 will be. How many of these are mine?
You're like, we had to split this evenly. 3 of them are shared. Okay.
Let's do Spy Family at 10.
Okay.
Right?
I have no arguments there.
We've done so much with Spy Family in the past, not even just this year. I think we've discussed it ad nauseum. We know how good it is. We love it. Everything else left is stuff that we feel passionate about. So it's not getting like disrespected at 10.
It's not getting disrespected, but do we love Spy Family more than we love Ranking of Kings?
Well, yeah, I love Spy Family overall more than Ranking of Kings, but I enjoyed my experience in 2022 with Ranking of Kings more than my experience with Spy Family.
Are you lying to yourself?
Maybe I am. I think I am.
That's what I'm saying. So this is the way I'm seeing this in my head. At first, a long time ago, I thought Ranking of Kings was one of the greatest things ever created. And then over time, it started wearing down on me. I'm like, what did I just watch? It became kind of this, it devolved into this shonen kind of garbage that had no ranking of any kings after the first episode.
That was the biggest lie of that series, is that Kings would be getting ranked in it.
It had some weird pedophilia stuff going on. It had these gods and wizards fighting that I did not give a shit about. And I still love this series. And it has Bocchi, who is amazing. Kage kind of sucks.
But
It has that guy who sims. It does have Despa.
It has one of the greatest anime mentors of all time. But Spy Family has Anya.
But Ranking of King, like, we really loved Spy Family this year, and the manga has been really fantastic. I'm just saying, I'm happy to let either one go here.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying that Spy Family has been a consistently positive note, even though it is going to get taxed. I think it's going to go out in the next 2 or 3. Whereas
I think I agree.
We were disillusioned by the end.
Because I think we're really talking about like 8 episodes worth of Ranking of Kings that we loved. And then the rest that was like, okay, yeah, this is fine. I'm enjoying it.
I didn't even like the second episode.
Yeah.
I hated the second episode.
Oh no, the second episode was rough, but
I loved episodes like 3 through 10. Those were amazing.
Literally all
and
the
then by the end, I was
content of this year was fantastic. Yeah, I think you're right. Ranking of Kings at 10.
Right? You didn't expect me to pull this, did you?
No, but you're right, and I respectfully agree. Wow. Yeah, no, you're right. You're absolutely right. So now we're at our top 8. Okay, at this point, I'm ready to get rid of Blank Canvas. Blank Canvas is an autobiographical manga. It's about 5 volumes long. This is also about a mangaka, and this is her like story of becoming an artist and meeting her sensei. That's like this grandfatherly presence for her, and it's just really emotional and really, really poignant. And I just it touched me in the right way and got me in the feels. I don't really cry too often from anything, let alone media, but this got me. And I think something that makes you feel is special, especially when we're as old as we are. Like, to have something make you feel something says a lot about that piece of media. or work. And well, the art isn't the best, which is ironic because
Very ironic.
it's her sensei is literally an artist and she's supposed to be an artist, but it was a special experience. I read through all 5 volumes one night when I was home alone and just like sat there crying on and off for like 2.5 hours as I was going through it, and it was special.
This kind of feels like my last year's Orange, like something that just hits me
Yeah,
personally,
yeah.
which we forgot about last year and never got on the list. Much like
Probably
Bakuman.
should. Oh,
I
so
hope we didn't
Bakuman,
do
yeah.
that.
I'm
I
sure
hope
we
we didn't
forgot
do
something
that this
important
year.
this year. I'm sure we did. I can't believe we forgot Bakuman last year.
What a
I
travesty.
loved Bakuman. It would have been my top
Bakuman could have made
three, I think.
top three.
Yeah,
Yeah, it could have made top three. Yeah, I read a little bit of Blank Canvas. I think I could probably finish it, but I think I just got kind of stuck in the way that the author also got stuck when she's in college and she just can't create art for the life of her. And it kind of became this downward spiral, but that was just her life. Like
yeah,
it wasn't bad writing. It was just autobiographical of her being in this rut.
yeah.
And that's where I kind of stopped reading.
I'm always a sucker for the grandfather characters, and that's what does it for me.
You do love your grandpas.
I do love my grandpas.
I will get rid of 86 here.
Wow. You see, so that puts Ippo and Real as your top two, right?
Correct.
Of the
And
ones that only you read.
right, we have 6 left. If I get rid of 86, we have 2 that are Rob's, 2 that are both of ours, and then 2 that are mine. And the thing with 86 is that it is this cinematic anime experience. And between the camera work, the music, the way it kind of hides details from you and then releases it. And then I was telling you the other day how it just drops that mic with the ending theme song, like not even at the last 2 minutes, just like in the middle, like right when you hear something epic, you're like, oh my God, like holy
Like
shit.
with Jojo and
And
Roundabout.
sure, something like that. and if we had stopped at season 1, I would have been like, I think this is perfect. That's how good I felt about the ending of season 1. Then season 2
Oh
starts.
my god, Justin. We forgot
What?
Jojo. I forgot Jojo Part 6.
Oh God! As you talk about Roundabout, where does JoJo
Oh,
Part 6 go?
it probably would have been like 28.
28.
I knew we
Is
forgot
it
something.
better? I didn't forget anything, Robert.
Oh my god.
Is it better than Bocchi the Rock?
No, no, it's not. JoJo Part 6, Netflix killed.
Is it better than Real Akuma's Theme Park Adventure?
Wait, now I gotta think. It's not top
God damn it,
25.
Rob.
It's not top 25. It should be
You and your
26.
fucking numbers.
Oh my god, I
26?
screwed this. Oh, yeah.
It's not better than Isekai
No,
Oujisan
you know
because
what?
you
It's not
fucked up
better
on
than
10.
Bocchi the Rock. It's not.
Is it better than Real Akuma?
No.
Is it better than
You know
Star
what?
Wars?
Yeah, it's better than Star Wars. The problem with it is I
Okay.
really enjoyed the part one of it, and then part two, releasing it in batch just screwed this series. It lost all its momentum, all the hype, and then the part two of the part six anime starts off too slow to ever regain my attention.
I was giving this beautiful prelude
I
to
know.
86, and then we jump all the way down to JoJo Part 6.
I'm sorry.
Fucking ruin everything for us.
Oh my god. So this was our top 67 now?
67,
Okay.
correct?
My bad.
It's okay. It's gonna happen again probably in the next five spots.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know how you forgot Bakuman last year.
I really
You're gonna
still don't
forget
understand
something.
that
If you forget another top 5, I'm just not gonna let you put it in here.
at this point.
86, number 7. Again, season 1 perfect. Season 2, they introduced this little Emoto character, this like little sister type of character, and the narrative just fucking falls apart. But the thing is, it goes from like perfect, then it drops down horrendously. Then the ending is better than perfect.
Oh, okay. So
That's how
it still ends strong though.
the first 2 episodes of season 2, okay. The middle like 7 episodes of season 2, a little bit miserable. And then the last 2 episodes, I rewatched it like 9 times.
Oh, okay. So that's strong.
I turned it to my dual background on my dual monitors. It's still there as my background
Okay, so
from that last
that's
episode.
that's important.
It saves itself. It would have gone already if it was just the first half of season 2, and it probably could have gone higher if it was just the first part of season 1.
Right.
Um,
But still
but
significant.
but still significant. I think it's probably my fourth favorite of this year.
Okay. All right. I'll absolutely respect that. So you are comfortable getting rid of it here though.
Yeah, I think 7's fair.
All right. I think I may have.
Also, you would hate it.
Yeah, I would definitely hate it.
I am so curious what your top 5 looks like
Do it
with the
yourself is
6 that
gone at this
remain.
point. This is ridiculous.
This is ridiculous. I can't believe you let this bullshit happen.
No. You let this happen.
You wouldn't let me kill it.
No, you know what?
Between this and
Wait. There's 6 spots left, and I'm going to choose the next 2. I'm going to put Do It Yourself ahead of. I want Do It Yourself in the top 5, so I'm going to do Castle in the Sky now.
What the fuck? What the actual fuck?
This is purely out of spite.
Is Do It Yourself your like second or third favorite series this year?
No.
What? How did we get here? What do you mean?
I'm really not sure what happened, but it is what it is.
Where is Do It Yourself for you actually?
Probably top 6 or 7.
What? Do you want to switch it with Blank Canvas? Like
no. Well, yes, I do. But I don't. I want it in the 8 slot because I don't want to give you 86 higher than 7.
I'm gonna put 86 at number 6 because you're being a little shit
then Do It
about
Yourself
this.
is at 5. That's the concession. If you don't want Do It Yourself in the top 5, then you keep 86 where it's at.
Rob, I don't care about the top 5s. I don't care about I just want it to be as close of accurate to a list, and that's all I care about. You can have the 5th spot. If Do It Yourself is your second favorite anime of this year and you're putting it at number 5, then you're making a concession. But you're saying that there's like 3 items that we dropped that you like better than your number 5 spot that I don't give a shit about. That's what bothers me.
I am not sure. Look, in a few days, you're going to ask me what my top 5 is, and it's going to be different than what it is today. Right now,
I'm giving you one last get out of jail free card to rearrange some of these pieces as long as it doesn't hurt me.
Okay, Do It Yourself
Do you
at
want
8.
to take it?
I want Do It Yourself at 8. I want Blank Canvas at 6. Castle in the Sky at 5.
Are you sure?
No, I want Do It Yourself at 5. I want Castle in the Sky at 8, and I want Blank Canvas at 6.
What is wrong with you?
This is also very subject to change. This might change by the end of this conversation.
No, you're done. This is your last get out of jail free card. Is this what you're locking in for?
You Stefanu, top 5.
No, you put. Oh yeah, you did. So what you're trying to tell me is in your top 3 anime?
No. Just don't worry about it.
You know what? I shouldn't worry about it. And you purposely won't let 86 go higher out of spite at this
Correct,
point?
Yes.
Jesus.
All right, so what are you doing at 4?
Do you have to give a eulogy to Castle in the Sky, or are you talking
enough
about it?
No, we talked enough about it. It's phenomenal. It does exactly what it intends to do and sets the tone for every Ghibli movie that follows it.
And do you want to talk about your number 5 that somehow got here? Do it yourself.
Do it
Cute
yourself.
Girls making things.
DIY. They're making these things themselves. Justin, honestly, that first episode where the main character realized her name is Yua Seferu and she was joining the DIY Do It Yourself club, that's all I needed. That moment.
I watched the first episode and I said, wow, this is like a really nice aesthetic. I love the art direction, but it was so fucking slow. And I was like, I can't do this anymore. And I can't go through a whole recruitment arc. It just became too anime. Like, there's nothing to be said here.
This is an anime of the year list, Justin. And this was one of the most anime, cute girls doing cute things, slice of life, absolutely complete worthless waste of time that I engaged with this year. And that's important. That's significant too.
I love how much you contradict yourself throughout the entire episode where you're like, this is art, and then you're like, this is garbage, and I love it.
It's our list. It doesn't have to make sense.
I will get rid of Hajime no Ippo at 4.
Okay.
It was probably the happiest I've been with this series in, I don't know, 5 years, maybe more. I don't know. But I got some of the best fights. We got Takamura fighting for the world championship bout, and he's just kicking ass. And there's so much anxiety. They do a really good job of building up the fight. Like, the opponent seems like they're going to wreck him. But Takamura shows up in such a great way. They have a fight with this character called Mashiba, which is Ippo's not girlfriend's older brother, who's this really angry guy.
Wait, what do you mean Ippo's not girlfriend? So it's like the love interest?
Love interest that has been the love interest for about 25 years, and they might have held hands once. And they're not official still.
Still put your face in the blue box.
Yeah, I mean, 25 years. It's pretty bad. He has a fight. We're at the World Championship fight. There's just so much going on with all of Ippo's old rivals, and we're really excited for Ippo to get back in the boxing ring after he hasn't fought in 3 or 4 real life years.
Right. I mean, Ippo is an iconic series. I watched one episode of it with you, and I actually really enjoyed it. Um, it's just so overwhelming. It's one of those things where there's just so much of it that I just, I'm afraid to jump in.
Yeah, you're just too busy watching Do It Yourself. I'm sorry.
Yes, correct.
We're
So
at the
for the
top 3.
top three we have left is Konjiki no Gash Bell 2, your boy Kong Ming, and Real. It's just basically a battle of what you want 3 and 2 to be. So
I like how the consensus is already the number 1, but I'm not arguing with you.
really, I actually thought there might be some pushback on this.
I like the suspense that we're building right now.
But yeah, no. I will leave this up to you because I did not engage with Real, but I know enough about it, and I know the author, and I know that it probably is a gorgeous series. So I will let you choose what goes at 3 and what goes at 2.
I'd like to hear where I think I know what I'm going to do, and I think you know what I'm going to do. But I'd just be curious where your boy Kangming ranks for you overall, because for me, it's a series that I remember when we ranked it, I gave it a B plus.
Yeah,
It might still be there, it might be an A minus, but as opposed to something like Ranking of Kings, where I lose interest as time goes on, I never want to rewatch that series ever again. I gain more interest with your boy Kong Ming because
yeah,
it's just such a fun time, and I could just pick out certain clips of it that are just so funny and entertaining and satisfying. Like whenever he executes on a strategy, it's like it fills you up that you're like, yeah, he did it. He did just as
yeah.
Keikaku.
It's just a really fun series, and it's like a reverse isekai too. And I hate isekai, but this I loved.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
you're sending this ancient Chinese general into modern day Tokyo and having him be like a strategist for an up and coming musician. It was fun, and it never took itself seriously, but it also did have like nice, wholesome, emotional moments. It did everything it wanted to do, and it did it well. The only thing that would have made it better is if it had more budget,
More
with the
budget.
music.
Yeah, and even the parts like with what's the rapper's name again?
Kabi Taijin.
Kabi Taijin. I remember Sekitoba. I don't remember Kabi Taijin. Even that part that kind of got slow, it's necessary.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
And I like the
unbelievably
development that came
necessary
from it.
because you need that one diss track in episode 11. Because otherwise, where would we be?
I will say the funniest thing about it is how, for some reason, everybody knows about the 3 kingdoms of ancient China in modern day Japan. Like everybody has just a working knowledge of all of it.
I didn't realize how popular it is. Do you know that they have Yu-Gi-Oh cards based around the Three Kingdoms characters?
Do they really? That's
They
awesome.
do. Like it's so prevalent. I didn't
Did you get any of
realize.
them?
I saw some that were like 40 cents, and I got a
Oh,
couple of them.
yeah, cool. Oh, you got to show me those. That's pretty
Yeah,
funny
I'm gonna
too.
show you those for sure.
So you want this at 3?
I think this is at 3, and even though I think so fondly of it, I don't think it ever pushes the boundaries enough. It's like a fun time, and for me, I really value things that kind of do something that I mean, it did push some boundaries. Let me take that back. It made isekai fun again, but this would probably be like 6 or 7 for me, realistically, maybe.
I think it would. I think it's definitely in my top 5. But I think it's more so just something we enjoyed together, and we really thought it was fun and unique and a little crazy and still a little emotional too. And I appreciated it for that. It's definitely in my
What,
top 5. And for us as a making a list together, I think it deserves top 3.
Yeah, and I agree with you completely. Even if it isn't my personal top 5, it's still, and I could be wrong. I'm gonna do my top 5 and put an
Yeah,
image up, and I'm gonna be like, was it top 5? But I think it goes out at number 3.
that's fair. So
Did
we
you go
know
into
what's.
this knowing that? Did you think I was gonna fight for number 1?
I thought that I would have to fight you real hard for what our number 1 is to be number 1.
You do not.
No, okay. Why don't you talk about Real a little bit, which is our number 2, thus making Konjiki no Gash Bell number 1.
Real is the story of 3 individuals and what they're going through. It's very real. Like it sounds
Yeah,
corny to say that, but it's just these could be real people that exist today. One of them is kind of this delinquent who's just trying to find his way in life, and he just wants to be a basketball player. He's not good at school. He's always getting in fights, and he's always fucking up, and he's trying to tell himself, I can be better than this. Like he gets in jail after getting in a fight and all these different things. And he also accidentally causes this girl to be permanently handicapped. So he's kind of dealing with that mental trauma of trying to get over that and be a better person. The second character is this guy who's a piece of shit. He ranks them like we rank anime and say, you're an A, you're a C, I'm an A, I'm better than all these people. And he gets permanently crippled. And he's like, I went from the top of the food chain to the bottom. And it's kind of his journey to recovery and becoming a better person because he's a total piece of garbage. And he hasn't, the thing is, I've read up to real, like 80 chapters or so. He still hasn't played wheelchair basketball yet because ultimately that's where it's going to go.
Which is what the series is about.
Yeah, he's been going through rehab for a long time. And then the third character is the main character who he was going to be a runner. I told you about him. And he ends up getting cancer in one leg. They have to take off one of his legs and he becomes a wheelchair basketball player. And it's their goal to try and become the best wheelchair basketball team in Japan.
Now, may I say what I think my biggest issue with Real is, where I'm not surprised that it's number 2, but I don't know. It's the fact that it's never actually going to end. This series will not be finished.
That doesn't bother me. I know that bothers you a lot. Like you won't start a series that doesn't end, right? Typically.
That I know will not have an ending, yeah. Like
that doesn't bother me. Honestly,
that's
what
why
bothers me...
One of the big reasons I dropped Hunter x Hunter is I know this series will never end. The author will not finish it.
What bothers me is a series that fails to stick the landing, like a lot of the items on here. I would rather you end prematurely than for you to end and sour the whole experience.
But let me ask this. If it ended, if that last chapter you read is the last chapter that was ever released, would you be happy? Would you still consider this as a whole, like, the best thing you've read this year?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think we have different viewpoints on it.
Yeah, I mean, if that's how you feel, that's how you feel.
I'd much rather have that than like have like a Kaguya appearance in Naruto that kind of sours the whole thing, or like Bleach just kind of falls. There's so many things that just, for example, Ranking of Kings and 20th Century Boys. It's just like I feel like I wasted my time. Whereas not wasted my time, but it's like, man, you couldn't have just finished strong. That's what kind of saved 86 because it finished strong.
Right.
I can get over the fact that you fumbled. This one is, I would say the one major flaw is that the wheelchair basketball matches are not interesting. Like the best match has been the wrestling match, which was amazing.
And this is a wheelchair basketball series.
Yeah. And obviously there's parts that I can't relate to, but I think it's also because it's really just 2 teams in the series and you don't get any hype about them.
Right.
So I think that's enough about Real. That's number 2. Rob, why don't you send us home with number 1?
You know what's funny? Early this year, I was actually working on a video saying, like, we need, like, a Gash Bell reboot or, like, to redo the anime or something like that. And then, like, a week after I started the script, they announced that there was a Gash Bell 2 manga coming out. And I obviously dropped the script because there was no need for it anymore. My dreams had come true. My prayers had been answered. And everything I read with Gash Bell, I just have enjoyed so much. I've literally, the most recent chapter, I just sat there smiling. And, like, the moment Full Grace, like, popped up, I literally, like, went like this, like, yeah. Like, I like, physically went like, oh, there he is. And it was like, it's so just fantastic and enjoyable. And it's what we want. It's what makes us happy. And, like, is it the best written thing here?
Yes.
No. Well, yes, it is. But you know what I mean. It's just more of Gash Bell, and that's all I need.
I think it's not just more of Gash Bell. I think that Raikou, the author, has really tried some stuff here. I mean, first chapter, everyone's fucking dead. He has everyone grow up, and he introduces new character designs, which are like off the walls and hilarious, but also awesome looking. And there's a mystery. Like, it's not just the next 1,000 years later, Gash is king, and we're doing the next Demon War. Like, shit's going down, and now we're excited for what's going to happen next.
You know what? It also respects the character development of the original series. Like, I was talking to you about this the other day, I think, where one of the problems with One Piece is that every arc, a character like Usopp reverts back to zero, where he is a coward and can't handle anything, even if he just did something incredibly brave the previous arc.
Right.
Then we have Kanchome, who, you know, throughout Gash Bell is developing from a coward into somebody brave and wants to protect his friends. And his reintroduction to the series with Gash Bell 2 makes you think he's like running away again.
Right.
But then you very quickly realize he's like trying to sacrifice himself to save his little brother and Fulgore and give them like an amazing life. And Raikou just respected everything he did with his characters and is just continuing upon that development that they had.
Yeah, and from like the emotional perspective, but even from like a battle perspective, like Kenshome has like the shittiest spells, but the way he like manipulates the Shinkansen to attack the opponent, like that's not something young Kenshome would have done. Young Kenshome would have done some really boneheaded move, but he's really trying to win and fight and use the most that he has. And I can't believe it exists in 2022 that we get.
That's what it is. I cannot believe there is a Gash Bell 2 that we are reading, and I can't believe how awesome it is.
It is going to be very difficult to not make our podcast boring every year because Konjiki no Gash Bell 2 has the potential to ride the top of this list every year if it keeps producing new content.
Oh, absolutely. And lucky for us, it's done incredibly well volume-wise. It's sold, I think, over like 200,000 copies already, the first volume.
Dude, I want the Japanese volume one so bad. When you told me that, I was like looking on Amazon to like potentially buy the first volume. But I
How much is it?
It's like it's only like $10, but it's like $20 of shipping. So I will wait.
Yeah.
Or when I go to Japan, then I will pick up some volumes. Then
right, yes.
Sorry, COVID. Robert, you would think that the podcast is over at this point.
Oh no, what is going on?
Before we read out our final list and go through all 67, we have to determine the Heavenly King of S-Class. Facing off, we have in one corner Yotsuba, the 2021 winner of S-Class, against the 2022 winner, Konjiki no Gash Bell 2.
Oh my god.
Who will become the Heavenly King? The strongest under the heavens is Konjiki no Gash, but who is the one that rises above all?
So in a real fight, I probably take Yotsuba. Yeah. If they were just like outside catching hands. Oh man, this is tough.
We're fighting with 14 volumes of Yotsuba versus 8 chapters of Konjiki no Gash Bell 2. That is the battle, and this is the battle that we will have till the end of time with the Heavenly King of Anime of the Year.
Do I actually have to answer you?
We have to collectively make this decision.
I mean, recency bias has Gash Bell, but Yotsuba's so special and so good. That's the thing. Yotsuba is timeless, and I think Yotsuba has so much broad appeal, and anybody could enjoy it. Whereas Gash Bell 2, I think you needed to read and watch Gash Bell 1 to love.
But you know what happened, Rob?
What?
Me and you read Gash Bell 1.
You're right, this is our list.
And I think Konjiki no Gash Bell is the Heavenly King of S-Class.
Yeah, come on. How could it not be?
I think
it's Gash Bell in 2022.
I think one of the beauties of Yotsuba is that it is literally A+ material every single chapter, every single volume. But Konjiki no Gash Bell goes beyond it. When it hits, I mean, every single chapter has hit.
It is S tier.
It is like triple S tier, and I think Konjiki no Gash Bell has cemented itself as the first Heavenly King.
I can't argue with that. I agree wholeheartedly.
Robert, we must do the arduous task of reading out this final list.
God. Do we really have to?
We have to.
You know, I love this part because this is when we realize we eliminated something so early and we let absolute garbage go into like the top 30.
This is how we know we fucked up. And then you're going to say, oh my god, I forgot that thing that I loved.
Like we have One Piece at 63.
You were trying to cut it at 66.
And now we're at 67.
We should start at 67. I will start with 67, didn't I say to make my abilities average in the next life every day, misadventures?
66, Radiant.
65, Pokemon, Mewtwo Strikes Back Evolution.
64, Fruits Basket, another.
63, One Piece.
62, Penguin and House, beating out One Piece.
Was Penguin and House actually better than One Piece?
No!
You're just an agent of chaos. This is why I'm here. At number 61, Shumatsu no Valkyrie.
Number 60, My Senpai is Annoying.
59, Death Parade.
58, Ruri Dragon.
57, I'll Give It My All Tomorrow.
56, Devil's a Part-Timer Season 2.
55, Shokugeki no Soma Seasons 4 and 5.
54, Tokyo Demon Bride Story.
Way too fucking high. 53, Cells at Work.
52, Summertime Rendering.
51, 00F.
Konjiki no Gash. Number 50, Ginka and Luna.
Number 49, The whole of humanity has gone Yuri except for me, the silver medal of our longest manga title.
48, Mori-chan and Ken-chan.
47, Yokohama Kaidashi Kiko.
46, Donald Duck Visits Japan is...
I think that's the right spot.
How are these above One Piece?
One Piece is long gone, man. Number 45, One Punch Man. This one is wild.
Number 44, My Hero Academia.
43, Crazy Food Truck.
42, Whisper of the Heart.
41, Aliens Area. R.I.P.
40, Chainsaw Man.
Oh no, Rob. You wanted Aliens Area to be 40, and it is no longer
it
there.
got bumped down. Oh my god, that means everything got bumped down.
Uh-huh.
Oh, well.
There you go.
It is what it is. I should have remembered JoJo.
39, Dragon Ball Superhero. Or Dragon Ball Superhero.
Terrible name.
Terrible title.
38, Kaiju number 8.
37, Blue Box.
36, Rooster Fighter.
35, A Man and His Cat.
34, My Divorced Crybaby Neighbor.
Number 33, Baki.
32, Shoha Shoten.
I don't know why I had such an agenda against Shoha Shoten today.
Yeah, you really did.
Number 31, I Think Our Son is Gay.
30, Star Wars Lost Stars.
Number 29, JoJo Part 6, Part 2.
No, it's JoJo Part 6, all of it, but Part 2 is why it's this low.
I think we watched it last year, though. It made it to our top 15.
I don't remember. 28, Ryakuma's Theme Park Adventure.
Number 27, Bocchi the Rock.
26, Isekai Oujisan.
Number 25, I Don't Know How to Give Birth.
24, Catch These Hands.
Number 23, Sakamoto Days.
22, My Dress Up Darling.
21, Uzaki-chan Wants to Hang Out.
20, Urusei Yatsura.
19, Vinland Saga.
18, Seizan and Comic Girl.
17, Akane Banashi.
16, Blue Lock.
15, 20th and 21st Century Boys.
14, Magus of the Library.
13, Zombie 100 Bucket List of the Dead.
12, Love After World Domination.
11, Haikyuu Seasons 2 through 4.
Now we're into the top 10. At number 10, Ranking of Kings.
Number 9, Spy Family.
Number 8, Castle in the Sky.
Number 7, 86.
Number 6, Blank Canvas.
I'm not reading this one.
Go ahead.
Number 5, Do It Yourself.
Number 4, Hajime no Ippo.
Number 3, Your Boy Kong Ming.
Number 2, Real.
And together, Rob, number 1, Konjiki No Gash 2.
Though. What else could it be?
And our Heavenly King remains Konjiki No Gash 2. Robert,
beautiful.
Thank you for sitting with me for 2 hours and persevering through my horrible COVID coughs. We did it. This will wrap up our year for S-Class, and you guys will hear us in the new year.
Abaya.
Abaya.
Catch my hair, berry melon.
Berry melon.
Catch my hair, berry melon.
Berry melon.
お口に届けるベリーメロン。
Berry melon.
ワンチューワンチューベリーメロン。
Berry melon.